What's up, Novi? This is all about F1. Today, I'll be telling you guys about the new regulations in F1 this year. There are a lot of changes, and all of them change the car drastically. So let's dive right into it. In 2026, we'll be saying goodbye to many things. The first one is unfortunately DRS, also known as drag reduction system. The car for 2026 has been shown to have less drag than the 2025 car, so DRS will no longer be needed anymore. Since 2011, DRS has changed Formula 1, making it more enjoyable. Jenson Button was the first person to press it, and the last was Kimi Antonelli. The next thing, or should I say team, we're saying goodbye to, is the Kick Sauber F1 team. Making its debut in 1993, this team, founded by Peter Sauber, got through the toughest of times and has been respected as an independent F1 team. Earlier this year, Audi announced that they would take over the Sauber team, which brings a close to this long-running team. The next thing, or should I say driver, we're saying goodbye to is Yuki Tsunoda, who was told that Red Bull would make him a reserve driver, as Isaac Hadjar is going to be taking his place in the Red Bull team. Everyone will miss him, as he brought many good times this year. And in place of Isaac Hadjar, Arvid Lindblad will be a rookie driver for F1 this year for the Racing Bulls team. A young and talented driver, Arvid climbed to the top from F4 to Formula Regional Series and is now in F1. He will be the only new driver on the grid next year. Now let's talk about the new changes we will have. 2025 is the last year we will have 10 teams competing and 20 drivers on the grid. Cadillac will join F1 as its own team, and its driver lineup will be Sergio Perez and Valtteri Bottas, both of whom are really good drivers. Obviously, we have new regulations, so I'll try to give you guys all the changes that I know so far. Let's talk about the most visible changes you'll see on the car first. The front and rear wing will be completely changed, making them simpler. The rear wing will lose its beam wing, and the front will be narrower, with outer sections of it improving the aerodynamics of the car. And a new addition that goes along with the wings is active aero, changing the angle of the wing depending on where the car is on the track. In the corners, they will stay in their default position, but in the designated straights, drivers can activate low drag mode, which, as the name suggests, reduces drag and increases top speed. This is available to all drivers every single lap. It also allows for new overtaking zones to open up, creating more action. With the introduction of active aero, however, DRS will no longer be needed. Next, let's talk about the car overall. The 2026 car will be shorter, narrower, and lighter. The wheelbase is now shorter, making the car a bit more agile. The tires are still 18 inches, though they are now narrower, and the little arches above the tires are now gone. This is because the car will now have better aero surfaces to direct the air to make sure there is no outwashing. In past seasons, the teams made the air go around the car and not through the aero surfaces, which affected the cars behind it. Now, that will change, meaning more racing and less dirty air. Underneath the car, the ground effect tunnels are now gone, replaced with flatter floors and extended diffusers. That means that there will be less downforce, but a greater range for ride heights, allowing for drivers to experiment with different setups. Now, let's talk about the changes that won't be obvious from the outside. There are a lot of changes that gives the drivers more ways to defend themselves and attack others. The drivers will now get the boost button, overtake mode, and recharge settings. The boost mode gives drivers maximum power from the battery and the engine, and they can use it anywhere for attack or defense. The overtake mode is just for attack, only activating when you are within 1 second of the driver ahead. This essentially replaces DRX, except for the fact that there is only one detection point, which means there will be lots of areas you can use it and pressure the guy in front. To power both of these modes, there is the recharge button. Working with the race engineers, the drivers will select a different recharge mode to recharge the battery from braking and engine energy. Of course, to power all of this, the power unit will have a complete overhaul. At its core, it's still a 1.6-liter V6 turbo hybrid, but the balance of power has been shifted a lot. The power from the combustion engine has gone down, while the electric motor triples its output. That makes the power split between them to be about 50-50. To power this, the energy recovery system can now recharge the battery with twice as much energy per lap. This allows for different recharging strategies around the track. One component is gone, however. The MGU-H, which recovers lost heat, is removed since it's too complex, too expensive, and not really relevant to the drivers or the teams whatsoever. F1 has had a goal of being net zero by 2030, and 2026 will be a big milestone for that. The power unit will be run by advanced sustainable fuel for the first time ever. It's made with resources like carbon capture, municipal waste, and non-food biomass. It's also independently certified to meet strict sustainable standards. With every new regulation update, there is always something to do with safety for the driver. The driver's survival cell is subject to more rigorous tests, with the roll hoop now being able to withstand 23% more load, which is as heavy as 9 family cars. The driver will also be protected with a new front impact structure design philosophy. It now separates into 2 stages in the case that there are secondary impacts in a major crash. And to reduce this chance of side impacts and low visibility, all of the cars will have mandatory lights on the side of the mirrors, in addition to the existing rear rain lights. With all of these new changes that the FIA has made in close collaboration with the teams and F1, this new rule set has already attracted other manufacturers to the sport. The driving will be a little different too, with less downforce and more control over the turbulent air. Cornering behind the car should be easier. However, the cars themselves will be harder to control, so drivers will be on edge more and their skill can be seen more often. The teams and drivers will have to use their new tech to rise up to the top, and only then can they be called champions of the world. And with that, that'll be all the changes to F1 in 2026. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and stay tuned for more F1 coming up soon. That's all I have, No Vibe. Have a nice day.